Welcome to Wickedshizuku's Reviews, bringing you a southern perspective on books, movies, music, and much, much more. Stick around for a while, you just might hear something wicked. And welcome to episode 100 of Wickedshizuku's Reviews. And today is Etiquette Friday. As you know, in episode 95, we finished the Comedy of Errors, and I have decided to drop trying to read anyone Shakespeare because no one seems to be interested. So, pity. So, we left off, where did we leave off? We left off on the rules of precedence the last time we were on Etiquette Fridays. And we got into Chapter 7, Cards and Titles. And we don't even use this standard at all anymore. It's not relevant. But I will read it to you regardless, because I found it interesting and it's what I've based half of my life off of, and my morals and standards. So, cards and titles, the material. Originally, the visiting card was intended for one purpose only, to be left behind as evidence of one's presence at the house of another. It was, as the name implies, a card for visiting. Gradually, this original and principal use of the visiting card has gone out of favor, and only rarely nowadays do men and women go about making duty calls, leaving cards as proof that their social debts have been paid. There are, however, many other uses for the visiting card. It plays a very definite part in the modern social scheme. What these uses are will be explained further on. Visiting cards should be engraved in plain black on white. Tinted cards are not in good taste, nor are cards engraved in color. Sometimes a very pale gray or a delicate buff card is used. This is not objectionable if the card is neatly and simply engraved in black. But a gray card engraved in blue or a pale blue card engraved in orange, we have actually seen such specimens, is in questionable taste, and such cards are not used by well-bred people. The card should be engraved simply with the name and address of the person. Simple, clear lettering is always the best. Ornate lettering, with the possible exception of Old English, should be avoided, and it is wise to remember that small letters are always smarter than large. Script, though seldom seen, is in good taste. Shaded block and plain Roman are the types of letters most widely used. Before deciding upon your cards, it is wise to plan to visit a fashionable stationery and look at the various kinds of engravings, selecting the one that best suits your taste and needs. Sizes for cards. The sizes for cards change according to the fashion of the season, though never radically following are the approximate sizes for the ordinary visiting cards. The woman's card rarely measures more than from 3 to 3/4 inches wide by 2 to 1/4 to 1.5 inches high. For a young girl, the card is a little smaller. It usually is more square in shape, for instance, 2 3/4 inches wide by 2 1/4 inches high. The man's card is usually long and narrow, and the popular size is 1 5/8 inches high by 3 1/4 inches long. Double cards, that is, cards on which the names of the husband and wife or mother and daughter appear, should be about 3 1/2 inches wide by 2 1/2 inches high. The correct card is of pure unglazed Bristol board with neither decorations nor borders. Whew. So, hope you enjoyed that one. So, do you forgive me? I had to stop for a moment. I had some orange juice and my sugar is spiking now. So, sorry everybody. Sorry. Alright. We were at the man's calling card, weren't we? Cards and dogs. Yes. The man's card. If they prefer, bachelors may have their cards engraved with the name of their club instead of their home or lodging address. Sometimes both home address and the name of the club appear on the card in opposite corners. In this case, the home address should be on the lower right corner, the name of the club in the lower left corner. A business address is never engraved on a social visiting card, nor does an at-home day ever appear on a man's card. Titles on cards. No man has his name engraved on his card without the title of Mr. before it, nor are initials alone without a given name engraved on the card that is faultlessly incorrect. Faultlessly correct. A gentleman's card should read Mr. John Corbett Huntington, Dexter Hall. I'm going to show you this ridiculousness. Maybe we should go back to this shit. Who knows? What do you think? Does anybody remember this? Or was anybody alive when this shit was going on? If it was, please leave me a comment and everything. This is crazy. I mean, before technology and everything, I mean, of course, the big tech companies and everything, they have whole, what have you, they have your whole dossier and your life log and timeline and all of that shit, and you've provided in on it through the Facebook and the Instagram reels and the TikToks and all of those other little things, just feeding it all into what's called a digital twin. I mean, where else are we going in all of this? They used to just, identify themselves by card. I mean, granted, way back when, you could also get a bad batch of cards, or, a fraudulent set of cards with bunk names on there. I'm sure that happened way back when. So, let's get back to it for just a few more minutes. However, he may, if he prefers, use an initial in either these two fashions. Mr. John Corbett Huntington or Mr. John C. Huntington. The form, Mr. J.C. Huntington, would not be in good taste. Not in good taste. The junior at the end of a man's name does not take the place of the title Mr. The card is engraved Mr. John Corbett Huntington, Jr. If the form of Jr. is used, it appears just as it is printed here, without capital J. This is just so... This is madness. The joint card for a man and wife is engraved as follows. Mr. and Mrs. John Carey. 12 West 57th Street, wherever that might be. So, the idea was that a lot of these guys were guys and gals that there wasn't a lot of traveling outside of towns and whatnot. So I'm assuming that all of this was what was relevant in a doctor, minister, judge, or military officer has his cards engraved with an abbreviation of his title. For instance, Dr. John Carey or Reverend William King or Colonel Henry Browning. The joint card for a doctor and his wife would be engraved as Dr. and Mrs. John Carey. A widow continues to use her deceased husband's name on her cards. She remains Mrs. John Carey and not Mrs. Mildred Carey. Her own Christian name is used only in business or in legal matters. Young girls always use the title Miss before their names. On visiting cards, no pet names or abbreviations should be on visiting cards or used, such as Polly for Pauline or Dolly for Dorothy. Nicknames never appear on the card of the lady or the gentleman. Some special points of importance. A woman does not share on her cards the title of her husband. For example, the wife of our president would have her cards engraved as Mrs. Franklin D. Roosevelt. The wife of a secretary, judge, general, or admiral does not use any title on her personal card except Mrs. On her visiting cards, a woman always bears the exact name of her husband. If he adds Junior to his name, it appears on her cards also. For instance, the wife of Mr. John C. Carey Jr. has personal cards that read Mrs. John Carey Jr. The card of the woman who has divorced her husband remains the same. The woman who wins a divorce retains the legal and social right to use her husband's full name. However, if her name was Mildred Carey before her marriage to John Huntington, she may, if she prefers, call herself Mrs. Carey Huntington. Under no circumstances does she call herself Mrs. Mildred Carey. Well, that's interesting. So, we'll finish cards and titles next Friday. We'll see ya. Bye, everyone.
Cotton fields whisper the tales of old, under the shadow of a moss-draped oak. Johnny Rep's footsteps growing cold, far from fire, cannon smoke. Worn-out boots on haunted ground, trudging through the dusky mire. By candlelight, no victory found, prayers unanswered in the wire. In the heart of Alabama, ghosts walking slow, Confederate soldier nowhere to go. Battles fought and lost, neath the blood-red glow. In the heart of Alabama, whispers of woe. Magnolias weep in the midnight hour, gray coats drenched in heavy sorrow. Yesteryear's battles, fields devoured, promises of tomorrow, nobody to borrow. Worn out boots on haunted ground, trudging through the dusky mire. By candlelight, no victory found, prayers unanswered in the wire. In the heart of Alabama, ghosts walking slow, Confederate soldier, nowhere to go. Battles fought and lost, neath the blood-red glow. In the heart of Alabama, whispers of woe. Magnolias weep in the midnight hour, gray coats drenched in heavy sorrow. Yesteryear's battles, fields devoured, promises of tomorrow, nobody to borrow. Magnolias weep in the midnight hour, gray coats drenched in heavy sorrow. Yesteryear's battles, fields devoured, promises of tomorrow, nobody to borrow. River sings a mourner's tune, iron shackles neath the muddy tide, crimson stains beneath the moon, southern pride swallowed deep inside. In the heart of Alabama, ghosts walking slow, Confederate soldier, nowhere to go. Battles fought and lost, neath the blood-red glow. In the heart of Alabama, whispers of woe.